सदाशिवसमारम्भाम्
सदाशिवसमारम्भाम्
शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम्
शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम्
अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम्
अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम्
वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्
वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्
वसुदेवसुतं देवम्
वसुदेवसुतं देवम्
कंसचाणूरमर्दनम्
कंसचाणूरमर्दनम्
देवकी परमानन्दम्
देवकी परमानन्दम्
कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्
कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्
श्रेयो हि ज्ञानम् अभ्यासात्
श्रेयो हि ज्ञानाभ्यासात्
ज्ञानाध्यानं विशिष्यते
ध्यानाध्यानं विशिष्यते
ध्यानात् कर्मफलत्यागः
ध्यानात् कर्मफलत्यागः
त्यागात् शान्ति अनन्तरम्
त्यागः शान्तिरनन्तरम्।
हरि ओम्. So we'll continue with our third chapter. So one thing just I wanted to share with everyone, because last week on Thursday, like Thanksgiving, I had gone to one family here. They wanted to do a Seemantan and Sanskar of their daughter, and she is doing residency at UPMC, and husband also. So when I was doing, and I typically when I did Seemanta Sanskar, I asked them that, have you ever read Bhagavad Gita? And the answer was no. And of course, I mean, they're young doctors, and their parents said that, Sanjay ji, forget about them, even we have not read it. And I said, well, आपने क्यों नहीं पढ़ी? बोले नहीं, हमारे घर में है. I said, yeah, that's even the worst answer, right? If you say that we don't have at home, then yeah, at least I can offer कि ये ले लीजिए, मैं लेके चलता हूँ अपने साथ में. But then said, no, it's just matter of time नहीं मिलता है. And then I said, see, this answer coming from parents. And I said in front of, they are mature kids, they're doctors in UPMC. And parents are also doctors. They came from India, actually. Nadia said they were both husband and wife doctors. So I said, कि देखिए, अब ये मैसेज अगर हम बच्चों के सामने बोलेंगे कि हमें समय नहीं मिला भगवद गीता पढ़ने के लिए. So then, and this is what we are going to read one shlok today, right? Yad yad acharati Shreshta. That's what I'm bringing that, right? We'll read it then. So I said, and we are professionals, right? It's just matter of prioritizing thing. मतलब आज के जमाने में अगर कोई ये बोले प्रोफेशनल लाइफ में कि I don't have time for this thing or that thing, and हमारे तो like corporate world में तो if you don't have prioritized, they'll fire you. It's like that. So it is just matter of prioritizing, right? And they said, no, you're right. So I said, now it is a Seemant Sanskar. My role is, like, since I'm officiating, and now my duty is to tell you now. And there's, in the Seemantana Sanskar, there is a shlok, there's a mantra come from Ved. And the mantra says that you are bringing a life into this world. And when we do Saptapadi, and I reminded them that when our wedding is performed, we do the Saptapadi. In Saptapadi, there is a fifth step where we say, Prajabhe Panchapati Bhava. Prajabhe means progeny. We are taking the fifth step together. Samam Anuvrata Bhava. That we are together, we are taking the fifth step for the progeny. And then so it is, we are not like, of course, we are not degrading animals, but we are not like animals that just producing something. Because they don't have the intellect to think what to do. But human beings are not just producing kids, right? And I said, now your baby is coming in 2 months. It's a responsibility. It's a social responsibility to, of course, I mean, professional responsibility is fine, education, everything, वो तो हमारे DNA में है, तो वो हो ही जाता है. But what about the social responsibility? What about the sanskar, sanskriti? And I think that's the reason that mother of those two kids, she called me कि आप आइए, आप आइए और कराइए और समझाइए भी. So anyway, but then I gave them Bhagavad Gita. So again, to request to all of you, I mean, आप सब तो है गीता आप पढ़ते हैं, लेकिन we got Gita ordered from India, thanks to Lakshman ji. Lakshman ji has sponsored this. We got 2,000 copies of this Bhagavad Gita, and this is in English inside and Sanskrit, and मैं यही बच्चों को पढ़ाता हूँ. My classes, I use the same Bhagavad Gita, and we have ordered. Lakshman ji is sponsored basically. We have he has ordered 2,000 copies of this, and we are distributing. So my request is, आप जब भी मुझे मिलें या कभी मंदिर में, just take few copies with me and अपने घर में आपके बच्चे और grandchildren सबको दीजिए. That is very, very important. Every house should have, and someday they'll inspire and read it. कभी देखेंगे तो सोचेंगे कि देखें पढ़ें क्या है इसमें, और इसमें पीछे अपने स्टिकर लगाया हुआ. लक्ष्मण जी has done a lot of good work. There's a sticker behind, and then the sticker has my phone number, my email, and Lakshman ji's. So if you have a question, if you want to know about Bhagavad Gita, just call us or connect with us. So yeah, that's a request, because this happened very recently. So I thought so kabhi bhi mujhe mile, and then let us know. We'll just give it to you, few copies. Keep it home whenever you see young people in the family, and just give them. And it's just $5. It is nothing. Then Lakshman ji is so generous to order 2,000 copies without even charging anyone. So, but so one of these things I'm doing these days, wherever I go, I keep few copies and give it to people and say, read it. And if you have a question, call us. We'll help you. There are a lot of resources. So anyway, this is because this is a topic today. We might connect that. Yat Yat Acharati Shreshta. तो अगर कोई हिंदू परिवार ये बोले कि मैंने भगवत गीता नहीं पढ़ी है, तो इट्स अ क्वेश्चन ऑन आवर ओन like legacy, what we are doing. So anyway, we'll continue with that. So please, whenever you see me, or you can we can just mail also if you need. I can mail, right? We have copies, but please have घर घर. लक्ष्मण जी ने उसको नाम अच्छा नाम है, like लक्ष्मण जी, right? We talked about say the घर घर गीता. It's like the जी. हर घर में एक ही. The reason is one. If you have one book, then the language is same. When we discuss, we can, oh, this is the translation. Otherwise, there are multiple books, many translations. This is coming from Gita Press Gorakhpur, and from Hanuman Prasad Poddar ji, and of course Ram Sukdas ji. And if you talk to any scholar, they said absolutely. And I have been reading this from my childhood, my parent, my grandfather. So Ram Sukdas ji and Hanuman Prasad Poddar ji is very authentic translation.
That's the best ones, yeah.
तो इसके लिए ये ऑर्डर करिए. बहुत रिसर्च करने के बाद फाइनली वी कंक्लूडेड, एंड इज इंग्लिश आल्सो, बच्चे कैन रीड दैट. So yeah, that's what. So that's our yat acharati also. That is our responsibility also to promote. I won't say promote, but anyway, we have to say promote word for Bhagavad Gita. So yeah, so we'll continue with our.
At least our children should know that
Yeah,
they have this heritage. It is in their blood. They have to just awaken it.
And then I tell them, like a lot of people ask me, पूरी नहीं पढ़ना है तो आप I'll let you know which shlok you have to read, and then once you slowly get into, then you might read some other things also. But at least I have a list of the whole shlok. मैंने पूरा document बनाया हुआ है, and I give it to some people that read these shlok, and they are very relatable. You can relate those shlok to your life. It's not just talking about some shastra here and there. So anyway, so that's what I thought we'll share. So we'll continue with our third chapter. We are on Karma Yoga. Again, we talked about Karma Yoga. Is Arjun asked this question because second chapter was Sankhya Yoga, Gyan Yoga. So Arjun's question was that now you told me Sankhya Yoga and Gyan Yoga, and now you're continuing me to force to do the war, which is karma. And Ghor karma means a terrible karma. So you taught me Gyan Yoga, and you're putting me again into the Ghor terrible karma. So what should I do? Guide me again. Arjuna said, you just Shishyasте ham shadimam tam prapannam. I am your Shishya, guide me. So Bhagavan says, okay. But Bhagavan didn't say that which is better. It says both are, like we talked about, like two railway tracks both are needed for the journey. So it is not one or other. There is no choice in that. Both go together. So he said, you cannot. Arjun wanted, भगवान बोलते थे ज्ञान ठीक है तो बोला चलो फिर खत्म करो युद्ध, अभी क्या करना, ज्ञान हो गया, हिमालय में जाके बैठेंगे. Bhagwan is a teacher, he's an acharya. His responsibility to make sure the job is well done. So he said, hold on, Arjun, I'll tell you karma first now. So that's the third chapter. So we talked about there are two core principles in Karma Yoga. One is Karma Yoga is not just karma. Karma Yoga is a method of neutralizing the likes and dislikes. Very, very profound. This definition came from Dayanand Saraswati ji, my Guruji, but very profound definition. Karma Yoga is a method of neutralizing likes and dislikes. So when the likes and dislikes are neutralized, that means you become Sakshi. It's a very simple psychology also. When you are not involved in anything, ये पसंद है या ये नहीं पसंद है, तीसरा स्टेट एक ही है, साक्षी. Sakshi means witness. I'm not party to this event. I'm just the witness. So that is first is the which is called akarta bhav or sakshi bhav. And the second definition of karma yoga, which the whole, like I made two definitions. अगर वो नहीं होता है कि चलो आपको लगता है कि it's difficult to become a witness. I mean, it is tough. Okay, then second option Bhagavan gives in this chapter itself. Graceful acceptance of whatever comes, the result. Karma has a phal. Graceful acceptance of whatever comes with reverence as a prasad. Cultivating prasad buddhi, that is karma yoga. By graceful acceptance of whatever comes as a prasad of Bhagavan, that cultivate prasad buddhi. So the second part of it, either you have sakshi bhav, sakshi buddhi, or prasad buddhi, accepted. जो भी भगवान ने दिया, success, failure, loss, profit, doesn't matter. And that either prasad buddhi or sakshi bhav, that is karma yoga. And that person is a karma yogi. Not only just doing karma is a karma yogi, or running away from karma yoga is jnana yogi. No. So you need both jnana and karma to be in this sakshi bhav. So with that, that is a like nutshell karma yoga. So we last time did 15th shlok, which is repeated, and then continue with our next part. 15th shlok of third chapter. Karma brahmodbhavam vidhi.
Karma brahmodbhavam vidhi.
Brahmakshara samudbhavah.
Brahmakshara samudbhavam.
Tasmat sarvagatam brahma.
Tasmat sarvagatam brahma.
Nityam yagge pratishthitam.
नित्यम यज्ञे प्रतिष्ठितम. तथा उस कर्म को तू वेद से उत्पन्न हुआ जान, और वेद अविनाशी परमात्मा से उत्पन्न हुआ है. इससे सर्वव्यापी परम अक्षर और परमात्मा सदा ही यज्ञ में प्रतिष्ठित है.
श्रीपाल जी नहीं है, नवीन भाई, you can read that English part.
Know that prescribed action has its origin in the Vedas, and the Vedas proceed from indestructible God. Hence, the all-pervading infinite is always present in sacrifice.
Yeah. Because when we saw the 14th shlok, in that there is an order given, the cycle of universe, that all beings are 14th shlok, born out of food, and food is born out of rain. Rain is born out of yajna. Yajna means the karma. Like rain doesn't happen, and we know the cycle, like eco cycle. And the yajna is born out of karma. So karma, yajna is karma basically, and karma is born out of knowledge. Ved means here the shastra, the gyan, and the Ved is born out of Paramatma. इसलिए हमने वेद को अपौरुषेय भी बोला है. अपौरुषेय मीन्स किसी एक व्यक्ति ने नहीं बनाया है, किसी भी व्यक्ति ने नहीं बनाया. It is Bhagwan's, the blessing, जो भगवान के आशीर्वाद से ऋषि, when they used to think, sit in meditation, they used to get those thoughts which they have compiled in the form of Ved. Ved is not just Char Ved. Any knowledge can be Ved. So Ved is born out of Paramatma. That means everything is born out of Paramatma. It's like that. It's the eco cycle, the pura system. जब हम food से बने, and that's why we say food for us, अन्न is a devata. So अन्न से हम बने हैं, हमसे ही फिर कर्म बना है, कर्म से यज्ञ बना है, यज्ञ से फिर प्रकृति बनी. So it's a continuous cycle, like cycle of creation, and that everything. So that's why we say Paramatma Brahma Nityam Yajna Pratishthitam, means Paramatma is present in everything. इसलिए हमने तो food को भी अन्न ही बोला है, ये सब में present. So that's what Bhagwan is saying. So that means कर्म में भी परमात्मा है. And that's the reason There is a whole saying famous that work is worship. जब सब में परमात्मा है, कर्म में भी परमात्मा है, तो फिर कर्म ही पूजा हो गया. That is very high standard set by our acharyas and our shastra, right? For karma yoga, for all of us. So that was 15. So we'll continue with 16. So next, Bhagwan is continuing to describe the karma, and then we'll talk about some of the lakshan of karma yogi. So 16 shlok we'll read. Evam pravartitam chakram.
एवं प्रवर्तितं चक्रं
नानु वर्तयति यः.
नानुवर्तयति यः.
अघायुरिन्द्रियारामो.
अघायुरिन्द्रियारामो.
मोघम पार्थ स जीवति.
मोघम पार्थ स जीवति. हे पार्थ, जो पुरुष इस श्लोक में इस प्रकार चलाए हुए सृष्टि चक्र के अनुसार नहीं बरतता है, अर्थात शास्त्र अनुसार कर्मों को नहीं करता है, वह इंद्रियों के सुख को भोगने वाला पाप आयु पुरुष व्यर्थ ही जीता है.
Arjun, he who does not follow the wheel of creation, thus set in motion in this world, that is, does not perform his duties, leads a sinful and sensual life. He lives in vain.
Yeah. So last time when we stopped, Chitu Bhai gave a comment where we talked about if you're disturbing the cycle, that means the harmony. And we are doing a lot of wrong things like cutting the plants, and that's why they say that COVID or all these kind of the pandemic comes because we are doing something wrong. The tsunamis or so we are disturbing the nature. If we'll disturb the ozone layer, then there'll be another problem. The sun rays will they have the intensity which is not fit for our body. Body cannot take it. And then the whole problem in the society, because we are disturbing the nature, our eating habits, our sleeping habits, all nature decides. I mean, typically there is no sunset and sunrise, right? We know that we are science people. There is no sun never sets, sun never rises. Sun is always at its place. We have given the term because we wanted to define a day. That here is the time. Sun is, you see sun, it's a day. Start working because you get the energy there. So all these systems are developed, but now if you don't follow, and that's why these days we know that people have sleep problem, they don't sleep on time, and they're workaholic and all kind of problems. But that means we are playing with nature. And that's what he was saying last time, right? We are creating imbalance in Mother Nature. And now so that's what Bhagavan is saying. Pravartitam chakram na anuvartayati. Pravartitam is which is going on. It's a cycle. Chakram, which is the Sashti chakra. Na anuvartayati. के अनुसार काम नहीं करता है. And everything is defined in Prakriti. But this, we intervene into that, we intercept into Prakriti's niyam, and then we pay the price. So Bhagavan is saying कि जो नहीं और उसमें शास्त्र भी आया था. हिंदुओं के हिसाब से तो प्रकृति में शास्त्र और नियम लिखे हुए हमारे. इसलिए we have संध्या वंदनम, we have पंच महायज्ञ. All these things are well defined, very much aligned with the Prakriti, the cycle. Bhut yajna, manushya yajna. Bhut yajna means taking care of the environment, animals, plants. They are part of us. We are part of same nature, right? And वो तो नहीं करता है. ऊपर से भगवान कह रहे हैं सह इंद्रिया आराम अघायु. इंद्रिया आराम sense. Aram means ramana actually. इंद्रिय रमणा. Aram means ramana. जो इंद्रियों में रमण करता है means खाली I live life just for sensual pleasure, or just to make the senses happy, and just party abhi baki hai. It's like that, right? सुबह के 4 बजे हैं लेकिन पार्टी अभी बाकी है. बस वो, so that's all the time we do that. Yeah, of course there's nothing wrong in the, never says भगवान की ये सब नहीं करना है, लेकिन there is a maryada, and that the shlok will come, right? यद्यत आचरति श्रेष्ठ. So भगवान से ऐसा जो व्यक्ति है जो इंद्रियों में ही रमण करना means enjoy, just sense pleasure is the only goal. अघायु है. अघायु means pap ayu means he is living a sinful life, or a life of negative tendencies, or life of misdeeds or wrongdoings. That's because it's a wrongdoing. You're not following the cycle, right? Mogham jivati. Mogham is व्यर्थ, waste, useless, vain. Your life is waste. And it is true. There are a lot of sayings that this kind of life is waste. If you're not useful to anyone, it's a waste of life. I mean, you can do for everything for you, but if you're only consumer, then it's a waste life. You have to be contributor also. And that's what he's saying. So it is, like, my father was a professor of economics. He used to say that. And he was a Gandhian and agriculture economist. So the grassroots level economics. He used to say that how much gold people have at home, you are killing the economy. It has to be in the market. It has to recycle. It's a money, and it's everybody's money. But people are sitting on gold. India is like the biggest country in the world, which is the highest amount of gold sitting. That's it. So he used to say in economics that money has to recycle. Products, everything has to recycle. Then you get the wealth. Then everybody prospers. Otherwise, it's like capitalists. Some people, and he was economist. He used to say that. So it is like in the cycle, give and take. If you only take, don't give, then cycle will be disturbed. And that's what we do, right? We consume more and contribute less. And that's what Bhagwan is saying. So Bhagwan ने बड़ा harsh word use किया, मोघम जीवती. मोघम उसी से आता है जिससे मोह होता है, delusion. You're living a deluded life. You think you are a conscious person? No, Bhagwan, you're not. You're a dead person. मोघम मतलब तुम्हारा जिंदगी बिल्कुल बेकार है. If you're just consuming. So that's what Bhagwan is saying. So this shlok is saying that कर्म योगी means ऐसा नहीं खाली बस पढ़ लिया और हो गया. कर्म योगी, and that's what we saw the example of Gandhi ji and Tilak ji. We'll talk about that next shlok. So we'll go to the next shlok.
Just a factoid. Fort Knox has only 80,000 tons of gold. The Indian households have 125,000 tons of gold, equivalent to $3 trillion.
That's right. He's just sitting right there. Right? We are disturbing the cycle, the money cycle. You're right. So we'll read 17. Right? Yasvatma ratirev syad.
यस्त्वात्मरतिदेव स्वाद
आत्मतृप्तश्च मानवः
आत्मतृप्तश्च मानवः
आत्मन्येव च सन्तुष्टः
आत्मन्येव च सन्तुष्टः
तस्य कार्यं न विद्यते
परंतु जो मनुष्य आत्मा ही में प्रीति वाला और आत्मा ही में तृप्त तथा आत्मा में ही संतुष्ट हुए, उसके लिए कोई कर्तव्य नहीं है.
He, however, who takes delight in the self alone and is gratified with the self and is contented in the self has no duty to perform.
Yeah. So
heavy hitters हैं ये, heavy hitters.
Yeah. So this again, like this is the same shlok 54. आत्मन्य प्रजाति यदा कामान आत्मन्यवात्मनातुष्ट स्थित प्रज्ञ सदोच्यते. वो ज्ञानी है. ये भगवान यहाँ पर ये नहीं कह रहे उसके लिए कर्तव्य means that person is not that he doesn't have or she doesn't have to work, but it is not that कर्तव्य. When Bhagwan says he is not attached to anything because he is so happy, he's fulfilled, right? So हम लोग कोई भी काम करते हैं, in general, I want something. अभी हम लोग तो पूछते हैं कोई प्रोग्राम है किसी को, so what I will get out of it? Give donation. What first thing comes to my mind? What I'll get out of it? So भगवान is saying कि इसको किसी से कुछ लेना नहीं है, इसको कुछ देना नहीं है, तो इसके लिए काम तो करेगा, but that like us, for us there is a karma, for this person there is a karma. So it's like that. I mean, somebody is asked Guruji, how do you define that? So we work for fulfillment. We say that, oh, I'm working hard or I'm doing this for fulfillment. But this person जो भगवान यहाँ define किया हुआ है, ये जो कर्म योगी ये ज्ञानी है, this person acts out of fulfillment. कितना फर्क है? I work for fulfillment, this person works out of fulfillment. सब हो गया है. अब बस जैसे वही, it's like once you are in play, like sometimes हम लोग NFL में होता है, you are already in playoff, right? And now you still have to play two more games. But then you relax because it doesn't matter you lose or win. You are already in playoff. So this person is already in playoff. Doesn't matter, उसको कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है कि हार रहे हैं जीत रहे हैं. So they're just enjoying the game because already we are in playoff or semi-finals. So remaining 2 or 3 games, I'm just enjoying. This person is like that. तो उसका सब पहुंच चुका है. खाली वो so he is working out of fulfillment. तो उसको कोई कर्तव्य नहीं है उसके लिए, कुछ ऐसा कोई काम नहीं जो उसको अलग से करना है, अपने आप हो रहा है उससे. So 18 श्लोक is continuation of that. It's a characteristic of a karma yogi. नैव तस्य कृतेनार्थः
नैव तस्य कृतेनार्थो
ना कृतेनेह कश्चन
न कृतेनेह कश्चन
न चास्य सर्वभूतेषु
न चास्य सर्वभूतेषु
कश्चिदर्थ व्यपाश्रयः.
कश्चिदर्थ व्यपाश्रयः, क्योंकि इस संसार में उस पुरुष का किए जाने से भी कोई प्रयोजन नहीं है और न किए जाने से भी कोई प्रयोजन नहीं है, तथा इसका संपूर्ण भूतों में कुछ भी स्वार्थ का संबंध नहीं है, तो भी उसके द्वारा केवल लोकहितार्थ कर्म किए जाते हैं.
Yeah, that is important.
In this world, that great soul has nothing to gain by action, nor by abstaining from action, nor has he selfish dependence of any kind on any creature.
Right. So again, this is person is fulfilled. I mean, you are already in semi-finals. you don't worry about game losing, winning, and there is no relation. I mean, this person is again not Bhagavan is what do you care? Ashraya, not dependent on anything, material and non-material, means relationship. एक शंकराचार्य जी का निर्वाण षटकम में जो बहुत अच्छा एक श्लोक जो मंत्र है उसमें श्लोक है, न मे मृत्यु शंका न मे जाति भेदा पिता नेव मे नेव माता न जन्मा न बंधुर न मित्रम न गुरुर्नैव शिष्य चिदानंद रूप शिवोहम शिवोहम. Yes, these relationships are there as a role player. I have to play the role. और ये कौन बोल रहे? कृष्ण, जो खुद सारथी बन गए उसके. क्या रोल प्ले करना है? मेरे सारथी बन जाओ. सारथी बन गए. I mean, कृष्ण जैसा वॉरियर पूरे एक ही बार वो भीष्म पे जब अनस्टॉपेबल हो गए थे तो उठे. अदरवाइज ही जस्ट वाचिंग द वॉर. ही इज सच अ ग्रैंड क्षत्रिय. उनको कोई ऐसा नहीं कि मैं भी इसमें घुस जाऊं युद्ध में. बैठे हैं सारथी चला रहे हैं, किसी पे डिपेंडेंट नहीं. तो वो मस्त अपने आप में खुश है. सो दैट्स व्हाट शंकराचार्य जी कहते हैं, पिता नेव मे नेव माता न जन्मा न बंधुर न मित्रम न गुरु नैव शिष्य. न कोई गुरु है न कोई शिष्य है. These all relationships are at a very superficial level. They're defined in the society for a reason. It's a role play. So don't get entangled into those relationships. So भगवान is saying कि ये जो व्यक्ति है किसी पे आश्रय नहीं, इसलिए इसे कुछ करना नहीं है, इससे सब कुछ हो रहा है. जैसे एक क्लासिक एग्जाम्पल इज भगवान कृष्ण हिमसेल्फ. पूरे महाभारत में भगवान कृष्ण से सब कुछ होता था. ही इज नॉट इंटेंशनली डूइंग एनीथिंग. जो सामने आएगा, जो स्वधर्म होगा, वो कृष्ण कर देंगे. इट्स लाइक दैट. एंड दैट्स व्हाट ही इज टेलिंग अर्जुन की तेरे को यही करना है. So we'll continue with the next श्लोक, which is very, very nice. Bhagavan is bringing the responsibility part of it. तस्मा सक्तः सततम तस्माद् सक्तः सततम
तस्माद् सक्तः सततम
कार्यं कर्म समाचर
कार्यं कर्म समाचर
असक्तो हि आचरन् कर्म
असक्तो ह्याचरन् कर्म
परम आपनोति पूरुषः.
परमाप्नोति पुरुषः. इससे तू अनासक्त हुआ, निरंतर कर्तव्य कर्म का अच्छी प्रकार आचरण कर, क्योंकि अनासक्त पुरुष कर्म करता हुआ परमात्मा को प्राप्त होता है.
You are on mute, Naveen bhai.
Therefore, go on efficiently doing your duty at all times without attachment. Doing work without attachment, man attains the supreme.
Yeah, so Bhagwan is reminding, same again, कर्मण्येवाधिकार रास्ते में same बात भगवान ने बोली थी. यहाँ पर he is saying, so there are three things Bhagwan is saying. Number one thing, asakta. Do the कर्म which अनासक्त. Actually गांधी जी ने बहुत अच्छा वर्ड असक्ता की जगह यूज किया अनासक्त. So आसक्ति means you're attached, likes, and आसक्ति का विरोध है विराग और विरति, which is dislike. But in between there is anasakti. I think Gandhiji tossed the good term. I mean, purani hogi, lekin Gandhiji tossed it very well. So his role was, he said, anasakti, karma to karna hai, lekin anasakti se. Anasakti means again same sakshi, the third state. Here is a like, a dislike. Here this person is sitting aboard likes and dislike. Anasakti. काम तो पूरा कर रहे हैं, लेकिन अनासक्ति अगेन, अनासक्ति में कर्म फल से. तो गांधी जी का ट्रांसलेशन का नाम ही अनासक्ति योग है भगवद गीता का. But he was very right. So same thing बाल गंगाधर तिलक, कर्म तो करना ही है, लेकिन अनासक्त भाव से करना है. And that's what Bhagwan is saying. So one thing is saying असक्त, second is सततम, continuous करना है. ऐसा नहीं अनासक्ति होगी तो आप काम नहीं करेंगे, क्या फर्क पड़ रहा है? No, 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 no. Continuous. कर्म योगी is constantly working. सततम, कार्य कर्तव्य. The word use कार्य as a कर्तव्य, as a duty मान के करना है. I mean, nobody is telling you. You know it is my duty. So असक्त भाव से सततम, continuously, कर्तव्य मान करना, and समाचार, properly. समाचार means properly. Properly करना. ऐसा नहीं कि haphazard. कर्म योग में look at, जैसे कृष्ण अभी महाभारत में आता है कि when the night time Bhagwan will take all the horses and clean them, give them bath and like put oil or ointment on their wounds and take care of the horses. So he is a Sarthi. Krishna kar rahe hain because he said I am Sarthi this time. So this is my job to take care of the horses or the chariot. So समाचार. तो कर्म योगी एकदम प्रॉपर काम करता है. ऐसा नहीं कि साधु सन्यासी हो गए तो हमें करना नहीं. यस, अगर कर्म योगी आप हैं तो आपको ऐसा लगना चाहिए सामने वाले को. रोल प्ले वाली बात है कि जैसे वो फिल्मों में रोल प्ले करते हैं. तो अमिताभ बच्चन ने एक जगह एक प्रोग्राम में बताया भी था कि एक बार तेजी बच्चन वो मूवी देखने गई तो उन्होंने बोला क्या तू हर पिक्चर में मर जाता. आई डोंट वांट टू सी दैट, बिकॉज ही वाज स्टार्टेड became famous in the beginning. Diwar, every movie he's dying, and he died so well that every producer director say यार एक अमिताभ बच्चन को आखिरी मारेंगे, मूवी हिट होती है. तेजी बच्चन से no, I don't like that. Every movie just you die, right? But he's acting so well that every movie he dies so well. So he's popular because of that. That's a rule. That's समाचार. काम तो असक्त से काम करना, अनासक्ति, सतत कर्तव्य की तरह as a duty, and samachar, and that's it. So Bhagwan says that is the lakshan of karma yogi. So with that he'll continue to bring the social responsibility segment of that, right? The 20th. Karmanev hi sansiddhi
कर्मणैव हि संसिद्धिम्
आस्थिता जनकादयः
आस्थिता जनकादयः
लोकसंग्रहमेवापि
लोकसंग्रहमेवापि
संपश्यन् कर्तुम् अर्हसि.
संपश्यन् कर्तुमर्हसि. इस प्रकार जनकादि ज्ञानी जन भी आसक्ति रहित कर्म द्वारा ही परम सिद्ध को प्राप्त हुए हैं. इसलिए तथा लोक संग्रह को देखता हुआ भी तू कर्म करने को ही योग्य है.
Yeah.
In this through action, it is through action without attachment alone that Janak and other wise men attain perfection. Having in view the maintenance of the world order too, you should take to action.
Yeah, so it very simple to Bhagwan gave the example of Janak Adi. But I personally, when I read Janak, हमने तो देखा नहीं, लेकिन I see two people, Mohandas Gandhi ji and Lokman Bal Gangadhar Tilak, very recent, right? They exactly follow this Lok Sangra. Unka Vivekanand Swami, but Swami Vivekanand was working only as a Swami, but these two people were with people among the masses, and like they were grahast, both of them. So both of them were jnani, educated, learned people, but continues to work for Lok Sangra. That's what he's saying कि जैसे जनक लोगों ने पर जनक जी का तो हमने देखा नहीं है, लेकिन we can say there are many more. I mean, just 2 examples, Gandhi ji and Tilak ji, but there are many more people who have nothing to gain out of that karma, but for lok sangraha. Jnani bhi ho gaya. I mean, they don't even have to, I mean, they're satisfied within themselves. Atmaneva atmana tushta. वो घर में people can sit on meditation for 8 hours. You can be there, but they want to come out and work with people because lok sangraha. तो लोक संग्रह के लिए तो कर, अर्जुन भी जैसे भगवान बोले वो तो भागना चाहते, संन्यास ले ले, ये कर ले, नो नो नो, लोक संग्रह, पीपल आर डिपेंडेंट ऑन यू. I mean, there are people who look after you, they follow you. So, Arjun, so you have to लोक संग्रह के लिए you have to do the कर्म. और बाकी हम लोगों के लिए भी लोक संग्रह के लिए तो, and it's again contributing, लोक संग्रह is contributing to the upliftment of the society. So you should consider working for the upliftment of the society, even if you have achieved everything, even if you are satisfied, you don't need anything. Keep working, and that is what the next. That's a kind of a social responsibility. You have to do that. और तुलसीदास जी से किसी ने पूछा था कि आपने क्यों लिखी है, एंड वेरी फेमस दोहा, उसमें बोलते हैं कि मैंने तो लिखी थी स्वांतः सुखाय के लिए, इसमें बहुजन हिताय हो गया तो राम की कृपा. लोक संग्रह हो गया. When Tulsidas ji type of person, सत्वगुणी, when he will do the कर्म, लोक संग्रह हो ही जाएगा. इसके लिए पहले ज्ञान, इसलिए ज्ञान, अवेयरनेस, जो भी education is required, because once you are a person who knows, when you will perform an action, automatically it's going to do the लोक संग्रह. वो पुराना एक हिंदी का गाना भी है, राइट, अपने लिए जिए तो क्या जिए, तू जी ए दिल जमाने के लिए, अपने लिए जिए तो क्या जिए. ये अपने तो सभी जीते हैं, जमाने के लिए भी जीना सीखो, एंड दैट इज लोक संग्रह. वो पुराने गाने, बड़े पुराने गाने देखो, बड़े अच्छे होते थे उनके शब्द. But that's what Bhagwan is saying. So now we read the 21st shlok, which is like hallmark of the responsibility Bhagwan is throwing on Arjun and all of us, right? Yad yad acharati shrestah
यदाचरत श्रेष्ठः
tat tad devetaro janah
तत्तद्देवेतरो जनः
sayat pramanam kurute
स यत्प्रमाणं कुरुते
lokastat anuvartate.
लोकस्तदनुवर्तते. क्योंकि श्रेष्ठ पुरुष जो आचरण करता है, अन्य पुरुष भी उसके ही अनुसार बरतते हैं. वह पुरुष जो कुछ प्रमाण कर देता है, लोग भी उसके अनुसार बरतते हैं.
For whatever a great man does, that very thing other men also do. Whatever standard he sets up, the generality of men follow the same.
So when I was like right now the children class which is going on third, we are on third chapter, and this shlok came. So I asked, they've given them homework to kids to memorize this shlok. Every chapter 1 or 2 shlok, I'm making sure that they memorize, so that when they become big, these are the guiding principles basically. Not memorizing means not just याद करना कुछ, लेकिन उनको समझाता भी हूँ. तो इस श्लोक पे we discuss a lot. So अब छोटे बच्चों के लिए अभी क्या, अब श्रेष्ठ पुरुष उनको क्या समझाता है. So I personally translate this as any educated person. अभी श्रेष्ठ वेष्ठ, अभी जनक तो हम है नहीं, राजा भी नहीं है, गांधी जी भी नहीं है, लेकिन पढ़े लिखे तो हैं. तो what I say that श्रेष्ठ means पढ़ा लिखा, educated person. And every educated person has a responsibility to make sure you do something which others can imitate. And typically, जैसे वो गीता वाली बात हो रही थी, मैंने उनको बोला अगर आप ही बोलोगे कि हमें टाइम नहीं गीता पढ़ने का, then what standard we are setting at home? I don't have time to do puja, I don't have time to do jap or dhyan. Then obviously children imitate you. So they'll do that, right? The same thing. So yad yad acharati shrestha. Jaisa acharan means the conduct. Shrestha means educated person will do that. Yat sat pramanam kurute. And then by doing that, you set the standards in the society, in the family, in the world, right? You set the standards, and lokasta anuvartate. Then people will just follow in your footsteps. And that's what the whole term is used, footsteps, right? People follow the footsteps of great people. So, but you have to set the standards. If you don't do, Bhagwan is saying that हम लोग जब छोटे थे तो हिंदी की एक पुस्तक थी, आई स्टिल रिमेम्बर दैट, उसके पीछे जब वो लेसन खत्म हो जाता था तो लास्ट में लिखा होता था पढ़ो समझो और करो। मतलब घर जाने के बाद होमवर्क के पढ़ो, पढ़ो पूरा लेसन, समझो, कॉम्प्रीहेंड दैट, पढ़ने से कृत नहीं होगा। इट्स लाइक दैट कि वो रामकृष्ण परमहंस एग्जाम्पल देते थे कि आप अपने मुंह से, कई लोग तबले की आवाज बहुत अच्छी निकाल लेते हैं, कई होते हैं वो आर्टिस्ट होते हैं जो मिमिक्री आर्टिस्ट, तबले की आवाज निकाल लेते हैं, कोई हारमोनियम, बहुत सारी आवाज, बट कैन यू प्ले द तबला? नो, तबला प्लेइंग इज वेरी वेरी डिफरेंट। यू हैव टू बी एन आर्टिस्ट टू प्ले तबला। मुंह से आवाज निकालना बहुत आसान है, बट तबला प्ले करना आपको आता है कि नहीं आता है? नहीं, तो आप आर्टिस्ट नहीं है। तो सेम थिंग है कि आपने पढ़ लिया लेकिन समझा कि नहीं समझा, समझा और उसमें आखिरी करो, दैट वाज होमवर्क, पढ़ो समझो और करो। तो पहले पढ़ो, उसको समझो और करो, डू इट, एंड दैट्स व्हाट आई वांट, एंड देन यू सेट द स्टैंडर्ड्स। You cannot set the standards unless you do it. So Bhagavan is telling Arjun in this sense, you can teach, and it is true. Pure human history mein, there is no war like Mahabharata. Not only India, even the foreign historians when read Mahabharata, they say there is no war like Mahabharata has happened. Most of the wars happened is just like invasion here and there, here and there. That's it. All Alexander will come here and somebody will go there. This is within the country. This is war on principles. This war is on dharma. And this is a very unique war. So Bhagavan is telling Arjun, you can set a standard how the war is to be fought. And this is the only war I personally feel that war is for Shanti. This is a dharma yuddha for Shanti, but Shanti first, in that order. Shanti and war can coexist. Krishna has proved in Mahabharata, Bhagavad Gita, peace and war can coexist, but peace first. The goal is peace, not the war, not the invasion, not the taking the lives, not the ego. There is no ego involved. पहली चीज है भगवान ने अर्जुन को सेकंड चैप्टर में बताई है, अहंकारी गिराना है और निरहंकारी अर्जुन से युद्ध कराएंगे कृष्ण. That is called setting the standards. तो भगवान ने, भगवान himself set the standard of war. कि धर्म युद्ध क्या होता है? It's not a war word use करना पड़ता है, but धर्म रक्षा क्या होती है? That standard him. So that's what Bhagwan is saying. लोकस अनुवर्तते. आप करोगे तो लोग पीछे पीछे आपके people will follow that. And this is a very very in depth. For example, Abraham Lincoln. We still remember Abraham Lincoln. America doesn't matter Republican or Democratic Party. Every president, they come and there are Abraham Lincoln's writing and Abraham Lincoln's, because he set the standards of leadership, political leadership, which is typically, it happened in 1996. We had a president and he did something which just destroyed the whole organization, that office. What standard you're setting? And he was scolded by many people that what did you do? You spoil the standard. And what standard set by, for example, Abraham Lincoln is a leader. He was known as a man of the people, servant leader. A lot of titles were given to him, servant leader, because he was a leader, but working with people, man of the people. And he set the standard for the free society. We know his famous speech, the whole word uses like for the people, of the people, by the people. When he talks about freedom, he's doing something for freedom as individual also. So that's what Bhagavan is saying. So yad yad ajarati Shreshta tadaiva jana. So Arjun is a responsibility. So Gandhiji, we'll just stop with a couple of anecdotes, one or two. So Gandhiji was in South Africa. And Gandhiji was always working, that time also, before even coming to Bharat, he realized that sometime in South Africa, that's why he started living in ashram and gave up a lot of material possessions and living a life for a common man type of people, right? Aparigraha, isko kehte hain. So there was a mandir built in Africa, South Africa, some 10-15 miles from Tolstoy ashram, where Gandhiji's ashram was there. The Lakshmi Narayan Mandir, some in Hindu community made the mandir. And they invited Gandhiji ki aap aiye, you do the inauguration. So, and then he said, unhone bola Gandhiji ko ki you come and you can bring few people with you. we'll pay for the rail fare also. There was a train going from Talsta Ashram to some place in Africa, South Africa. So we'll pay the fare also for all of you, and you come and you will inaugurate the mandir. Gandhiji says, okay, we'll. So Gandhiji said that you pay the fare, doesn't matter how we come. We are going to walk 11 miles. And we'll take the money. I'll use the money in the ashram. So he took the money and they walked. See, setting the standards. That's why Gandhiji is a very, very classic example of setting the standard. So they walked, and wahan jab pahunche to unko unhone, they gave him a Bhagavad Gita as a gift. And Bhagavad Gita was covered by a frame which is gold, made of real gold. Bhagavad Gita unhone frame mein di, which is real gold. And Gandhiji smiled and he said, well, you have wrapped the diamond in the gold. It's a diamond, right? Why are you wasting the gold to wrap it up? But anyway, I'll take it. Because and then he said, I'm going to sell this gold and use the money for the ashram. Because diamond doesn't need gold. So I'll keep the Bhagavad Gita, sell the gold frame, and give the money. Setting the standards in the life. See, Gandhiji type of person can do that because they exactly know what karma is, what lok sangra is. So yeah, anyway, so we'll just stop here. So there's one more story I remember, which I share with kids a lot. They love it. This same loka anuvartate. What is our responsibility? There was one. It was like a snowy day and a lot of heavy snow. And there was one person has a backyard, so he wanted to get his shovel from the like shed in the backyard sometime. But the backyard was it's on the hill, very slippery and just cliff of the hill. So he said, okay, I had to get the shovel. It was heavy snow. So he started walking, right? And he started walking and slowly. And the snow mein there are footprints, right? Footsteps. So he was walking very slowly. And one time he was just about to trip. It was like, and then he held himself, hold something. So there was a noise came from backside. Dad, be careful. I'm walking in your steps. Wow, he looked at, he said, wow, my son was walking behind me for all this whatever 15, 20 feet I walked. And he was not worried that there is a cliff or there is, because I'm walking in my dad's footsteps. I'm safe. And that's what Bhagavan is saying. Yad yad acharati Shreshta. Yat pramanam kurute loka. Pramanam means you create the footsteps. People are going to walk on those footsteps. So Arjun, you are responsible. Anyway, this Shloka is good for not for Arjun, for us also. So we'll stop here. And I just wanted to share one thought, and then we'll do our